And now from Mexico, a chilling story of kidnapping and abuse on a huge scale. The victims, Latin American migrants trying to reach the United States. We're getting word of a big rescue operation by police. Let's go live now to John Holman in Mexico City. And John, what more can you tell us about this?
Well, the rescue operation actually took place yesterday, and today the government of this state, the northern state of Tamaulipas in Mexico, has been making this public, the news. 165 Central American migrants that were being held by a group of kidnappers, 3 separate operations by the Tamaulipas State Police. They were working together with the Mexican Army and also with the Mexican Navy to try and rescue them in these 3 separate operations, and most of these people were coming from Honduras and El Salvador. They were crossing Mexico, and obviously this was the last stop before they were due to cross the border and get into the US. So this happened in the state of Tamaulipas, and this is a state which has been incredibly violent in the last 5 years, but also very recently that violence has increased. 2 rival criminal organizations, the Gulf Cartel and the Zetas, are battling for drug routes and territory there, and the Mexican government has had to step up its security presence in this state.
I want to get to the Mexican government in a moment, but is this typical of the problems migrants face when they cross the border?
Yes, unfortunately it is. And the situation for these migrants from Honduras, from Guatemala, from El Salvador is that they're trying to escape mostly gang warfare, violence in their home countries. And really they're coming into a situation in Mexico to try and get to the US that's almost as bad. For the last 7 years, rival criminal groups have been battling with each other and with the government for supremacy here. And these migrants coming from Central America are really seen as an easy target. They don't really have any legal protection in Mexico. And so criminal groups kidnap them either for ransom or to make foot soldiers, basically, for organized crime out of them. So this is a problem that's been going on in Mexico for several years. In 2010, 72 migrants were found dead in a ranch in the same state, Tamaulipas. Just a month ago, 39 were found captured as well in another state, Sonora. So this has been something that's been happening for quite some time. 50,000 child migrants were stopped from crossing the US border or found at the US border this year alone. So it's a problem that's affecting all ages.
And both sides of the border. So what is the Mexican government doing about this issue?
Well, for a long time, really, the Mexican security forces have been almost part of the problem, especially local police that have frequently been in collusion with organized crime, turning Central American migrants over to them or extorting them and beating them as they try and get through this country. But now the pressure has increased on Enrique Peña Nieto, Mexico's president, to try and do something about this problem. And just this week, he was in a conference with the president of Guatemala. He said he's going to try and regulate Central Americans crossing the border into Mexico, try and give them some sort of legal status for a limited period in the south of the country, and in that way try and make them more visible. So these kind of things like what we're seeing that happened in the last couple of days with these 165 migrants, to try and stop that being so common.
All right, CCTV's John Holman live in Mexico City.